So this is your standard below grade blind side construction job. So Paraseal is really good for this because what we'll have is a non-structural blinding slab. The Paraseal will go out and it'll come up the vertical walls and essentially tank this building to protect it from all the water coming in from other areas like the beach, which is right across the street. And to give you an idea about the amount of water in here, all these decanting pipes, these white pipes going up, are pumping out around 250,000 gallons or 1.3 million liters of water every single day. So there's a lot of water pressure that wants to get in here. The Paraseal is going to keep that out, mainly because it has two different waterproofing methods. The first is it has an HDPE layer, high density polyethylene plastic, and we detail all the seams together so that that becomes essentially an inverted poncho. The other part of that is the bentonite sheet, the sodium bentonite. So if any water were to get past that because of detailing defects or physical damage that occurs during construction, when the water comes in, it hits that saltwater treated bentonite. The bentonite hydrates, can hydrate up to 6 times its original size, and it'll create a pressure seal and stop that water from ingressing. So again, because of the high risk of water infiltration, the contractor, the builder here decided to go with the Paraseal system because it's that dual layer of waterproofing protection, which is exactly what they wanted to be able to sleep at night. For some of the detailing work, because of the uniqueness of this project where we're tying into this raft slab construction that's actually going to be physically attached to the secant wall, which is really, really unique. Usually those two systems stand independently. One of the things we wanted to do was tie the Paraseal into that secant wall as well to continue that system. So we're using our Tremco EPA, or epoxy paste adhesive, which is a structural epoxy, and that's going to physically adhere that Paraseal into the secant wall. So that epoxy is going to have about 96 MPa of structural strength, where the concrete might only have 40. So now the weak point in the system is actually the concrete secant pillar, which is holding back this building next to us. So that's a good thing to have as your weak point in the system. The other thing that we're going to use is our Tremco NWP, our negative waterproofing cementitious render, and that's to do this raft slab to secant wall tie-in detail. And again, the kicker there was the structural engineer required that there be a scabble finish on the secant wall and that there be at least a 50 millimeter depth of the key so that the raft slab would actually sit in on the secant key. By using the NWP, again, we have something that's stronger than the concrete that it's going to be attached to. So again, your weak point is no longer our membrane in the middle working as a slip sheet, but instead it's either the raft slab itself or the secant wall. So you're going back to the whole thing being it's in your structural element, not just a waterproofing layer. And we want to, again, because of the high risk of water ingress, we want to make sure that that's sealed properly.
Tremco's got a big variety of products, which is great. Second of all, obviously, is the support, and they will back up their contractors to the best of their ability. You go to some smaller suppliers, and the only thing that they care about is trying to sell the product. If you've got a problem, they don't want to know you. That's the beauty with Tremco, and that's why I've stuck with Tremco for many years now. They do look after me, so I can't complain.